Cracking, everybody. Buenos dias, saludos. How you doing? Uh, we talk about this YouTube thing right now, and some things that are happening, and uh, we basically need to understand that if you're going to be jumping on YouTube, and regardless if you're just doing it for the money or the fame or to pass a message to better the lives of others, uh, you need to understand that you should be held accountable for the content that you put out. You should be mindful of the content that you put out. There are young adults, youngsters that look at our shows and our content, and they learn from us whether they realize it or not. No matter how foul the content creator may be, people still follow them. I guess the more controversial, the more they follow them. But at the same token, people need to understand that you need to be responsible for the content you put out. Okay, now I'm not in that life no more. I'm not out there gang banging. I'm not doing anything. I'm basically just a civilian at this point in my life. Uh, I'm not holding any alliance to any kind of organized crime, criminal activity, or anything of the such. Anything like that. But I do am mindful about the content I put out and what I talk about. See, and I'm gonna use this one example right now. Blue Dildo. He put a video out showing an altercation, right? In that altercation, somebody was hurt. And now I don't know, I've heard through other channels that there might be criminal charges as well as civil for that altercation, right? Um, so the video that he put out, Blue Dillo put out, is probably gonna land up in a courtroom somewhere because his video was a little bit more graphic. It showed more than most of the other videos. And then the conversation he's had with the dude, and then what he said in this video is pretty damning to the individual that he's friends with. So he's what they refer to as dry snitching without even realizing that he's dry snitching. And that's common with somebody that's not from the streets, that don't understand. Especially in this YouTube age, that people are going to pull these clips and use them for criminal prosecution when they can, or civil. It's too late to pull them down now, but uh, he has a couple channels. One, he tried to hide culture curl, cancel culture, or something like that, where he makes memes of people, and obviously he thinks it's funny, but ain't nobody else. I don't see anybody else thinking it's funny. It's humor's to be desired. But the thing is, we have youngsters looking at this stuff. We have people that are looking at the stuff, looking up to people. Whether you realize it or not, you have an influence on others by being on YouTube. Therefore, you're influencing these individuals to act certain ways. And if you're not mindful, you can lead them in the wrong way to get in a wreck if they're actually in that lifestyle, because a lot of them pretend to be in that lifestyle. Um, it's not cool to get on a camera and air somebody out on camera or attempt to air people out on camera. Uh, it's not cool. It's not right. It's wrong. Now, I've had the other American coward get on camera and say that I'm actively gangbanging still and shot calling, amongst other things, on a camera. And I was actually stopped behind it, what he said, and questioned. Now, I know in my heart that the cops didn't really believe it because they would have heard it on the streets. It's just that simple. I wasn't doing anything, but this dude wanted to get me in trouble, so he said I used the N word so that he could get me in trouble with the blacks. He said other things to get me in trouble with my wife. He said other things to get me in trouble with enemies from the streets, and then old gang rivals. And then he said things that could get me crossed up with the cops. And he did this all on camera. That is what you refer to as dry snitching. And it can get people caught up. So I think as a YouTuber, people need to understand that you need to be mindful of the content that you put out. Because these kids, everybody sees it, and then they're going to think it's all right. And it's not. So I just wanted to put that out there so everybody understands that, hey, check this out, man. There's certain things you don't talk about on camera. I know a lot of people right now think, oh, I can talk about this on camera and it doesn't matter. Well, you know what? There's statutes of limitation on certain things. There are repercussions for certain things. There's somebody that might not know that you were involved in something and then catch you slipping because that was their family somewhere along the line, down the line, right? But this idea of being able to jump on a camera and talk and show a clip of a physical altercation is probably going to land up in a courtroom somewhere because this dude thinks it's cool that he can do that. That's all I'm saying. It's all that people need to know. Like I said, I'm a civilian at this point in my life. I'm not holding no alliance to anything anymore. I'm just doing me. I'm not worried about nobody else. I'm not worried about where anybody's from, anything of the sort anymore. But I still hold certain qualities about me. I don't believe in people telling. I'm not gonna. Let's just say I retired and I have no smut, and I'm cool that way. I didn't go out any backwards, any which way, and I'm cool that way. I did what I did. I wish I would have did something different in my life, something more productive. I wish I could have. I would have listened to some of the people in my life so that I know, hey, this ain't the life. There's nothing at the end of the road, because there really isn't. There is nothing at the end of the road. But that doesn't mean that there aren't certain qualities about that life that I admire, and one of them is not telling on people, not doing all that extra stuff. So, have a blessed one, man. Bye bye.